Hey everybody, today I've got 20 ideas for you in this video and we're heading right in because that is a really tight program for today. We're getting the most basic idea out of the way first. This is not indicative of the other ideas in this video, but if you want to learn how to paint this very simple pumpkin with gouache and colored pencils, then you can head on over to my art membership because there is a real-time class there where I teach all of this. It is really not that hard to paint this, and I thought it would be a really good, simple idea to include today. This is just very sped up, so it's kind of a little bit of a sneak peek of the real thing. And also you have to trust the process with this one a little bit because it took a few layers, not a ridiculous amount of layers. I think I did this in 1.5 hours or so, but it definitely looks better in the end than it did during the process. I have to say that the colored pencils here did a lot of the work. I really enjoy adding colored pencils on top of my art lately. I say lately, I mean that very loose. It's been a while. I really enjoy that, and here it worked well even on top of the gouache. So if you're careful about what products to combine, you can do a lot with mixed media. And I think that this looks really nice for the fact that it was so simple to create. And I am very happy with this very simple first result for today. Then for the next one here, this is also a bit of a sneak peek here. I am including enough so you can see what this looks like, and I think it is a really nice piece. I am proud of this one, and this one is actually one of my 2 new courses. I have 2 new ones that I will add to the Magic Worlds. So I already did a Magic Worlds farm course a while ago, and now I've finally finished the other 2 courses that are meant to go along with it. And this is one of the ones, and I was really hustling to get this out before Halloween. And this is just a very magical illustration of this house in the woods. And you don't have to paint this around Halloween, but it is very fitting around autumn time because it has this moody look. And it is also mixed media. It is a mixture of colored pencils and watercolors. You can use any types of watercolors and colored pencils that you have. And I will leave a link in the description box below for you. Make sure to check out this course because it is very in-depth and I teach you every single step. Now for this next one here, this is actually not my design. This is from my fellow art YouTuber, Anchored Art Designs, and this is from the book Just Add Spooky that has a lot of these really beautiful Halloween themed pieces that you can color, and I was able to color the cover of the book. I was kindly sent the file on very short notice, mind you, so thank you very much to Anchored Art Designs for sending this file over to me because I wanted to feature the book in my video, and I am really excited about this one. I had so much fun with this. I had to use acrylic gouache for the background, even though I planned on using watercolors because I had a bit of the wax from the other side on the paper and the watercolors didn't really want to stick. But the acrylic gouache looks very similar to watercolors, so it worked really well. And I really tried to kind of match the colors to the right page here. And on the right page here, you can actually see the other art piece that is also a new course of mine. This is the Magical Underwater World course. And if you want to get all 3 of the Magical World courses that I have, then there is a bundle. I will leave links to all of that in the description box, so don't forget to check that out. And I will also leave a link to the book that this beautiful line art is from. I really enjoyed the design of this. This could have been my own art piece, honestly, because it fits in so well with my own style. I also really loved the way that this entire page spread turned out. Even though the theme is very different, I tried to kind of make it work together, and I am really pleased with the outcome. So check out all of the links for all of that in the description. And here is the next one. We're moving really quick in this video and it's only getting quicker. So if this is a really quick video for you, then I definitely recommend checking out my courses because they're a lot slower, or maybe even my real-time art classes, because those are the real-time, the slowest that you can go. But today this video is for my friends with short attention spans. Here you can see I was painting cats, and this is actually from a video. I think I did this one last year, if I'm not mistaken. And this is also in the mixed media range, you could say. I used my slightly gray toned sketchbook here. So this is a very light gray, and you can see that now I am going to start using white and even white gouache here towards the background. And you can kind of see the white against the gray, but just a little bit. I think that adds a really fun and eerie look. And so on the left side here, I kind of did a similar thing. I also wanted to keep with this really playful and doodly style. These are also rather easy ideas for beginners that you can recreate if you have just a small amount of time. These should be doable rather quickly. And we just have these cats, some pumpkins, and a few ghosts on the left side. Pumpkins, cats, and ghosts are heavily featured in this video, obviously. We focus a lot on the magical side of things here. Here you can see the finished page spread. And the next one is also kind of a cozy one, I would say. Here I used this shimmery, sparkly watercolor, and this is from a really old video. So this was done a long time ago, but I still really enjoy the way that this turned out. And I tried my best to really edit all of the old footage to make it look much more visually appealing. And I have to say that during this video, I went on a trip down memory lane, and I definitely noticed so much improvement in my video editing style. And I think that this video, I hope it does the art justice now, because a few of those that are featured here, they just look a lot nicer to watch. This one here is a magical place. I really love the colors. And fun fact, this one actually is hanging on our bedroom wall. So this is actually displayed. And so that means that I actually really enjoy that. I don't really display that much of my art. I mean, I do some, but I don't have unlimited wall space. So when something is on the bedroom wall, which is a prime spot, that means that I really enjoy it. I really like the color combination. If you've been a fan of the channel for a while, you will know that I absolutely love green tones and purples and pink tones together. So this one was definitely one that I really liked the combination of those colors of. And I was also going for a very eerie feeling with this one, which is why I think that it really fits the Halloween theme. While it is not completely on the nose Halloween, we have ghosts that you will see appear later on, and we have this magical, spooky feeling. So I think that this one definitely deserves a spot in the list of ideas. And this one also has a tutorial on my channel. If I can, I will link some of the videos that are featured here in the description box as well, but it's already a lot to link. I will also, in this video, I will not link any products that I used because that would definitely kill me. That would be insane. Here you can see the ghosts appear, and they're these warm, long, squiggly things, and I really enjoy the way that this looks. It's kind of Studio Ghibli, but in a very surreal way, if you know what I mean. And now for this one here, I am really, really happy with how this turned out. This is probably the most recent one in this video that I have already shown. So I was a little bit hesitant of whether I want to include these witchy doodles because it was just a few months ago that I posted this. But they were in their own video, so they were not in a sped up compilation type video like this one today. So because I am really happy with how they look, I really enjoy this style and they fit really well with the theme, I decided to just include them here, and I definitely recommend checking out the longer video if that's interesting to you. I feel like I'm referring to other stuff in this video a lot. Yeah, here is the finished one already, and I also tried to match it to the other side here. And now with this next one, this is very stylized, completely different style to what we've seen before. I drew these crystals with colored pencils, and I got inspired by the names of the colored pencils themselves. These are Artex colored pencils, but I use a lot of different ones in this video. I generally use Staedtler and Faber-Castell and Prismacolors also a lot, so all of these 4 brands will be used interchangeably. But here you can see this finished piece. Very, very simple, very playful. This could also be something for beginners. And here we have acrylic markers actually. This was way back in the day when acrylic markers were not that heavily featured on YouTube, when they were not that hyped. So I was really surprised when they were suddenly really, really hyped. But these ones don't have brush tips, so I guess they're not as interesting to a lot of people. And I was also using paper that doesn't really suit these markers, so I was really careful to not ruin the paper too much. But it is also a rather simple drawing, painting, whatever you want to call that. And I think this is a really fun idea that fits the more magical and eerie vibe as well. Now, these 2 here that you're gonna see are from a Halloween video that I did years ago. And we are just going to brush over these, pun intended, very, very quickly because obviously this has also been on my channel. And I think a lot of people actually saw that video, but it is definitely the oldest footage here in this video. So here I used masking fluid for this spider on the web. I still really like the idea, but I absolutely hate masking fluid. So I don't know if I will do that ever again. And then on the left side is also a very, very easy idea. And it is this silhouette painting basically. If you do a nice fun background, a little bit of a gradient with watercolors, and then in front you draw something that is dark and just a silhouette, that is a really easy and approachable way to create a rather cool looking piece with minimal effort. And then for this one here, this is again a newer video. I tried to kind of mix them. We have some content that has never been seen before. We have some really old stuff, and we have everything in between. This is a really cozy idea. It has a few Halloween themed things here and there. We have the bat, we have a witch's hat, but we also have more of the cozy stuff with the I don't know if the umbrella would be a cozy thing, but we have the tea, and also there's a pumpkin. So there is actually a lot of little ideas in this one, but I count these things as just one idea because otherwise we would have a ridiculous amount of painting ideas today, and I don't want to clickbait like that. So this is what it looked like, and then I glued it into my sketchbook here, just using the most basic glue that we have here in Austria. And then we have this combination of little jars. I would imagine they have some type of magical potion in them. Unfortunately, I did not have a large amount of footage for this one because it was chopped up quite heavily by past me, who thought that chopping up things quite heavily would be a really good idea to edit footage. And because of the ridiculous amount of videos that I create, I don't have raw footage of past videos, but I really like the result. And here we have something that you have not seen before unless you are a member of my membership. This is also an art class that I did really recently. It is a magical tree, and I was originally, I wanted a little bit of a more realistic style, but then halfway throughout, I was going for a really stylized style. I never know what to say there. Stylized style. It's not very eloquent, but I am taking suggestions for synonyms for those words. And you can see that I built up the layers here as well. I used acrylic gouache with this, and of course this was also a real-time class, so this is a very, very sped up version of that, but I absolutely adore this tree. I think it looks derpy in the best way possible. I don't know why, but I really, really love it. And so I definitely wanted to give it a spot in this video here. And now here we have something that is also very, very old, but I still really enjoy the way that this turned out. Here I was using alcohol markers, which I use sometimes, but in comparison to my other supplies, I use them rather rarely. But every time I use them, I think that they're so satisfying. And I think that all types of cupcakes are really easy to draw. So this could also be a very good, easy idea. And now the one on the left is also really easy, but it's not, it's simple, but it's not easy on your wrists. I remember that this really hurt my wrists. I used an alcohol marker, or should I say sacrificed it, to blend that a little bit. There's definitely ways to create an easier background. I would suggest just do a background with watercolors instead. And then I used a colored pencil. You can see that mine was really tiny. I think I still own that tiny colored pencil, actually. It must be in the studio somewhere. And then I did these. Again, silhouettes are really easy. These little bats just flying out of the page, kind of. And that creates this three-dimensional effect that I think is really... it adds something, let's just say. Now, to contrast that, we can see really old art and much, much newer art. This was also just a few months ago. And here I did a combination of candles. I think all of those are either candles or lanterns. And I think they also really fit this magical, cozy, and I don't know if they're spooky, but I think they fit this time of year quite well, even though they're not in the usual orange and green combination. I quite enjoy that there is a wide variety of colors in this video here, and it's not just orange, even though I really enjoy the orange pumpkin type of aesthetic, but it is not the only stuff we get to see here today. It's not that redundant, if that makes sense. And here we have the magical frog that I also did just a few months ago. You can see it's on the other side of the other piece. So these were done very close together, and I always had the intention to one day put them in the same video. So I guess this is that video now. And I used gouache here, and then afterwards I added colored pencils again to add a few more details and to just very quickly make the piece look more precise and more refined. And I think that turned out really nicely. I am very, very happy with this page spread. And now here we have something that is a little bit simpler, I would say. I used Karen markers for this one. It's a black cat sitting on pumpkins. Obviously, pumpkins had to make it into this video in more ways than just one. But trust me, I cut out, I think I had 3 or 4 more paintings of pumpkins that I had, and I cut those out. I decided 20 ideas is enough, so I spared you a lot of pumpkins. And I think we have, I don't know how many. You can count how many pumpkins we have in this video if you want. Let me know in the comments down below. I don't know. I will probably not fact check that unless I'm really, really bored. But I decided later on that I want the cat to be black instead of purple. And I just built up my colors here, blended the markers. This was sort of a mixed media type of paper. So it is not absolutely perfectly fitting for the markers, but it worked out okay. And I would say this is probably somewhere in between a beginner idea and more advanced, maybe for slightly more intermediate artists. And I really hope that you enjoyed all of these ideas today. Don't forget to check out my new courses and all of the links that are left in the description box for you. And if you'd like to see some cozy fall art ideas, then check out this video next.